The double life of this Colorado mother has police in disbelief. Paige Bergfeld appeared like a lovely girl to those who knew her. Everyone in her little Colorado town adored her because she was a successful entrepreneur, a caring mother, and a dependable friend. That's why, when she unexpectedly failed to return home one day, it felt like the world had stopped. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. We lost all communication with her. Why would this kind woman seem to just up and leave her family? She was, as it turned out, hiding because she was leading an odd double life. At first glance, Paige Bergfeld's life in Grand Junction, Colorado, appeared to be typical and comfortable. She was the epitome of a hard-working woman and a great mother to her neighbors. Everyone in her lovely mountain village, nestled in the Grand Valley, adored her. She had recently separated from her husband, Rob, who had reportedly used violence against her in the past, but she and her 3 kids had a contented existence. Paige picked up the pieces and kept things together when she broke up with Rob. Paige had to figure out how to raise her 3 children without her husband's extra money when she and her spouse, Rob, finalized their divorce. She started working hard since she wouldn't live paycheck to paycheck. Her intention was to offer the most comfortable life possible for her adored children. Her employment activities ranged from managing a chain of children's dancing classes to marketing nursing slings and kitchen supplies. Before deciding to move on from her divorce and try her hand at love once more, she ran a few enterprises. Prior to Rob, Paige was wed to Howard Ron Beigler, a man she had dated in high school, and Rob did not like him. Even though they had been sweethearts in high school, their marriage finally failed. However, their relationship did not stop there. The two maintained their friendship and continued to communicate after the divorce, even after Paige got married again. Following her second husband's divorce, Paige and Howard's contact began to take on a romantic tone once more. They resumed dating shortly after. The two want something more memorable than a routine date night for their reunion and first date in a long time. They thought of a lovely idea to have a picnic at the most picturesque location in town. After deciding to get together, they drove 2 hours from Paige's Grand Junction residence to the town of Eagle. With the intention of returning home before her kids went to bed, Paige started off on her journey. Even with the extended summer days, twilight arrived swiftly. When Howard called to check on her, she reported that her drive was going smoothly. She even claimed to be halfway home, but he had no idea it would be the last he would hear from her. Her kids were impatiently waiting for their mother to return to Grand Junction, as they knew she would arrive well after dusk. Although they had a babysitter, 1 hour quickly became more and more. How could she be anywhere? Paige was still not in the driveway at 11 p.m., which frightened her kids furthermore. It was 9 o'clock at night when she told Howard she was almost home. This was nothing like their mother. Her daughter phoned the cell phone of her mother. Trying to acquire some kind of confirmation from her mother, she left a long, disturbing voicemail. She didn't succeed. After her date on a Thursday, Paige vanished from sight, and by Saturday, she was still missing. It soon became apparent that there was a serious problem. Howard had by now also left a ton of anxious voicemails. Rob, her second ex-husband, who is currently living in Pennsylvania, made a frantic attempt to get in touch with his former spouse. Reporting the mother missing to the authorities was the only option. Police soon set to work looking into the mysterious disappearance. How did this devoted mother just appear out of nowhere? Paige's family didn't understand why she would leave her 3 beautiful kids behind and not communicate with anybody. Police discovered something horrifying in a parking lot about 3 miles from Paige's house on July 1st, 2007. In a deserted parking lot, a red Ford Focus was discovered burning. Paige drove the vehicle as she departed from her date with Howard, and it belonged to her. In a case that was complex, this was the initial lead. Perhaps anticipating to find Paige's body inside, the cops examined the burned-out automobile. But what they discovered only made the argument stronger and left them even more perplexed. Police found it unsettling because Paige was missing from the car and that many of her possessions had vanished as well. The police found several insightful hints. Paige had left her phone and pocketbook behind, but the detectives did find a planner in which she had meticulously planned out her agenda for the following few days. For a surprising reason, the condition of the planner made it clear to them where she had gone and where she planned to go over the following few days. This planner drew particular notice from the police. The planner appeared to be in good condition considering it had survived a vehicle fire, with the exception of an intriguing detail. The final 4 pages had been pulled off. Police chose to focus their attention on the condition of the automobile after examining its contents. The car was ruined by the fire, but there was one important item inside, namely the driver's seat. It was positioned as far away from the steering wheel as it could go, all the way to the rear seats. Clearly, feet so far back couldn't reach the pedals. The surrounding landscape can be quite rugged. Search teams initially searched the adjacent Gunnison River for Paige. This river runs through the canyons, no more predictable than the surrounding arid environment, rapid and rugged. Once the search has been expanded, the police believed she could have drowned in the river. To find Paige, the family assembled a sizable search team of 100 individuals who walked across challenging terrain. For the sake of the family and the searchers, any information was appreciated at this time, even if they had no idea what they would discover. Police were left with few hints as the search became fruitless, but they had no idea how to connect them and provide an explanation for Paige's peculiar absence. Since Paige was using her phone on the way home, the police next switched their attention to looking through her phone records. One enigmatic number remained unidentified despite the fact that Paige's ex-husbands had previously been cleared out as potential suspects in her abduction. That was the number Paige had phoned just before she vanished. Police found something that shocked them all when they called the enigmatic final number. It came to light that Paige was leading a second life in Grand Junction, even though she was taking care of her lovely family and leading a tranquil existence. The enigmatic phone number Paige had phoned to a man named Jim was quickly located by police. The fact that Jim only knew Paige as Carrie and did not know her as Paige further complicates things. Jim had been using a prepaid phone, so it wasn't connected to any credit card or even a genuine identity, which made finding him a bit of a chore. She ended up being the only person Jim called on the phone. Over the course of many days, 5 calls were placed before the phone finally died. Police soon set to work trying to identify this Jim. Eventually, the police found out that Jim wasn't even named Jim. Lester Jones was actually his true name. They also discovered that the parking area where Paige's burned automobile was discovered was just across from his place of employment. After reviewing Jones's background, the police discovered that he had served time. After Lester spent time in jail for offenses ranging from attempted kidnapping to sexual assault, authorities ultimately searched his place of employment, an RV business. They discovered Jim's hidden life there. He had detailed notebooks in his office with information on all of his different escorts' looks, personality, and even bra sizes. When investigators went through Paige's belongings, they found her dark secret. She was an escort. Her bizarre phone conversations concerned Models Incorporated, the company she owned and operated with just herself and one employee, Carrie. When Paige's family found out about her covert existence as an escort, they were shocked. While her siblings attempted to make sense of it all, her parents absorbed this shocking news. But one thing they were certain of was that Paige didn't take on this work for fun. Rather, she was sure that it was all done to provide her kids a better life. In 2012, 5 years after Paige disappeared, a hiker was taking in the breathtaking scenery of Wells Gulch, which is 40 minutes away from Grand Junction. The hiker noticed a human skull while he was walking over a dry riverbank. Another horrifying finding was found when the skull was carefully examined. Duct tape was wrapped around the lips. It was established through forensic examination that Paige's remains were missing. Lester Jones was detained and accused with killing Paige in 2014. He was put on trial again 2 months later, this time on charges of killing Paige, concealing her body, and setting her car on fire. Jones received a life sentence without the possibility of release. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.